Raman Kumar, can you try what is model binding? What can you answer that question?
Model binding is a conversion of complex JSON object into respective class object.
Very good. Okay. Can you give me an example for model binding? Raman, give just any example. Where does the initiation of the request happens? Raman,
It happens in client side.
client side. Any examples for that?
When we have to update any data related to drugs, like drug ID and drug name, we will use the post request. Thereby we pass the data to the server.
Which format do you pass the data?
JSON
Drug ID and drug name, you can pass it in parameter also, correct?
Yes, sir. But when we have to update some data, complex data, like supplier ID, supplier name, and other supplier
What do you mean by complex data? Just because supplier is complex, that's why you're planning to make it as supplier as a complex data? What do you make? What do you? How do you decide whether it's a complex data or a simple data?
A simple data can be said like an integer or string or any other data. A complex data is when a object of that class is defined.
Excellent. Okay. So supplier ID, is it a complex or simple data?
Supplier ID in supplier.cs is a simple data, but when we call or use the reference in other class, it would be in a complex data.
Okay. So when you said the initiation happens in the client side, can you give me an example for client side tools where we can initiate a server call?
We use the Swagger or in Postman tool.
Okay. What is the content type in HTTP request?
Content type specifies the body of that HTTP post object.
Excellent. Okay. What is accept in HTTP request?
Accept specifies the data format from the server side to the client side.
What is it?
The data format to that is to be.
Very good. Okay. Now, when you say model binding, if you have an action, what is, for example, in case of drug, you are posting a drug data to the server side, update drug. So what is the parameter type you will have there? Or the data type?
It would be in a drug.
Drug what? Is it an integer?
Or drug class object. Class data type.
In drug class, let's say we have drug ID and drug name. And in JSON, we only pass the drug ID. Drug name, we just leave it. Then what happens to the model binding to the drug name?
It would be null.
Very good.